Hello, Mid-American gardeners. Thank you so much for watching. This is a show where we get questions from you and then we answer them in the most exciting, educational way possible. I don't know about exciting, but I'm pretty sure about educational. Hi, I'm Diane Nolan, and I teach horticulture at the University of Illinois in the Crop Sciences Department in the College of Aces, and that's on the Urbana-Champaign campus. Now, let's find out who is here, and they're going to tell you their expertise as well and gear your questions in that way. Well, let's start off with you, Dr. Bob Skirvin.
Hello, nice to see you again. Anyway, my name is Bob Skirvin. I teach horticulture at the university too. And my specialty is fruit crops. And so, anyway, if you've seen me before, one of the things I love to go to the grocery store, and I look for different kinds of products that you may or may not have seen. I take that to my students on a regular basis. And today I brought in one that I bought. It's called carambola. It's called star fruit.
How do you spell that?
It's like C-A-R-A-M-B-O-L-A.
Huh.
So it's not like Ebola. It's
carambola.
It's got a bowl in there.
So, thank you. Go ahead. I
okay,
just wanted
back to work. Anyway. But it's shaped like a star, and it's a tropical fruit from Malaysia. And one of the things the reason it's called star fruit is you can kind of see the ridges here. But if you take and cut it, you can cut it into these stars. Can you see that? In these stars,
ooh,
and then they are edible too. Isn't that cool? And
hi, Bob. How's it going?
They're real juicy, and they're really nice. And one of the things that I always tell my students is you take these little stars, they're beautiful in fruit salad. It's something really different there. And one of the things I've seen them used in fruit punch in parties in punch bowls. You take and freeze these, that big chunk of ice, the punch you take and freeze to keep it cold. Then as that thaws, and these little stars appear in your fruit salad. I really love it.
Perfect for garden parties.
Yeah.
We're keeping to the gardening aspect.
They're nice, and
those are very pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty neato. Get out and try a carambola.
Carambola, thank you. Now,
Star
I can
fruit.
Visualize it better now that I've seen it spelled out. Thank you, Bob. All right, let's go next to you, Nancy Pataky.
Hi, I'm Nancy Pataky, and my specialty is plant pathology and diagnostics, I guess. And today I have a question that was sent in. It's on a plant called Burrow's tail, or sometimes people call it donkey tail. And they want the person who wrote in says, what do brown tips on the lower leaves of a Burrow's tail plant mean? And are they getting too much or not enough water, light, fertilizer, or whatever? And it's not too difficult. I can't be certain of the answer to this, but I have a pretty good theory. This plant is a type of sedum, and sedums are pretty drought and heat resistant. So you could be overwatering it, but if you do overwater this plant, usually what will happen is the stems will rot, and you'll get entire stems that rot and die. So I don't think that that's probably what the problem is. I think that probably what's going on is the person has been watering it a little bit at a time, so it's kind of tough to tell when with houseplants when they need to be watered. I just stick my finger in the soil and wait till they're dry down a couple of knuckles before I water them again, or when they look like they're starting to wilt, which on this plant is kind of hard to tell. But I think what's happened here is probably they've watered the plant a little bit, and the water just goes, partway down the pot, and then keep watering a little bit, and the water keeps going to about the same spot. And then what happens is the minerals in the water, the salts and minerals will form this line right here at that level in the soil, and they start to affect the roots, and then you start getting brown tips on them. So if that's the case with this person, what I would suggest you do is take the pot somewhere where you can really water it well, and just water it a whole lot and let the water keep flowing through, and then just
flush it out. Then.
Flush it out, right. And then that helps flush those salts out. And then don't water it again until you're sure it's really gotten quite dry. And in the winter with this plant, you might only need to water it once a month. It just depends on the pot,
right.
And, some other things. But
well, I remember Judy Fair in the greenhouse at the University of Illinois. She said, if you're not watering well if nothing's coming out at the bottom.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is often a hanging plant, and so it could get kind of messy.
And people don't want that to happen.
Yeah, you just really need to take it down, put it someplace in the sink, and just make sure it's watering through. But
But
It's a real
don't
nice
overwater.
plant. It's a great plant.
It is. It's really very pretty. Well, thank you, Nancy. That's
Sure.
a good food for thought for people of how to water well. All right, Shane Coulter, you're up next.
I am Shane Coulter. I'm one of the family owners at Country Arbors Nursery in Urbana and Coulter Nursery in Onarga, and I am a 5th generation nurseryman. We're celebrating our 150th year this year, so it's kind of exciting. I haven't been here 150 years, but
You don't really look
a
much
couple
older than
people have
20.
told me some things over the years, so there's a little back history there. But I answer a little bit of everything. With a garden center, you kind of have to, with trees, perennial shrubs, a little bit of everything, a lot of pathology. Sometimes I'll ask these guys for it, but a lot of people come in there. So anything in that range. And I've got a pretty good question. A lot of people ask these type of questions. A person's got a rain barrel from Chicago, and she's wondering what to do with it in the winter. And this really applies to pots and rain barrels and anything with the central Illinois and any Midwest winter where things were going to freeze. And water is a very strong thing when it becomes ice. It can break anything. It can break steel, it can break clay, and plastic is really no problem for it at all. What I normally do is I try and tip them over. I mean, I just take the same look and just flip them to make sure that there's no moisture. A little moisture is not going to hurt. You just don't want to get enough moisture in any of your things that will expand it and break. And rain barrels are pretty simple. The bottom should be solid. It shouldn't leak, so you just flip it over and make sure no water gets in it. But for clay pots and other things that you can't get inside, a little secret I do is I will put packing peanuts in the soil or in the pot, or I will take a 2-liter bottle and fill it with sand halfway and drop it in there, so if something has to compress or squeeze or freeze, it'll squish that instead of the outside of the pot. And that's just, I do that in the pond sometimes too, because sometimes the ponds will freeze as well. So it's a little tip, but yeah, you got to remember no water in your things outside or they will freeze.
Yeah.
Yes, water is strong.
Water is very strong.
Tough. Okay, thank you very much. Well, let's go to our special Did You Know segment now. The giant sequoia is one of the tallest trees in the world. It is also very wide. Some believe that the giant sequoia is the largest living organism in the world. Okay, we're ready for the phone lines. Let's go first to a Creeping Charlie question, and James has this for us on line 2. Hi, James. What's your question?
Flowers that my mother planted when I was just a child, and I'm 77 years old, and it's killing them.
Okay, Creeping Charlie. Let's talk
Right.
about it. And it's in perennials because it's...
Okay.
All right.
My question is, I have Creeping Charlie all over my backyard, and it is killing my flowers.
Right. What's your question?
How do I get rid of it?
That's what I
Right.
thought your question was. Okay. Here we go. There could be 4 or 19 answers on here. Now, who wants
go?
to start?
No, you go.
Oh, it's not so hard when it's in the grass. It's actually getting better. Salta dicamba is kind of the ingredient we look for. Weed Be Gone purple bottle works pretty well. I tell people that. I hate to name typical companies, but it's really easy to spot because it's got a bright purple bottle. But you generally need to look for it on the label first, but Salta dicamba seems to be the common ingredient. In the perennial garden, you have to be really careful with all those over the tops because there's so many perennials that are in the same category and same family. So going over the top in the perennial garden is something you really have to watch out for. A trick, and I've said on the show a lot of times, is I will take that chemical and dilute it properly and put tape a paintbrush onto a stick and just dip in paint, and that way I can be really controlled over where I'm spraying it or brushing it in this case. So it takes a little longer, but it works really well, and I do that with Roundup as well because sometimes I just can't get in there and I don't want to spray and I don't want to kill the other plant, so I'll just paint my way through and do it that way. That's kind of my advice.
And if you don't get everything, it won't get it the first time.
Yeah.
So you may have to come back in. There may be some pulling involved. When it's in mulch, you can actually pull it back fairly easily, but if it's in with plants, you may have to brush it again.
But in grass, it's not so bad, or you can go over the top a couple of times, and it does a really good job, and a lot of them cover violets as well, so you can kind of kill two birds with one stone. And your neighbors surely don't like you. Not with that much creeping Charlie in your lawn, so that means it's spread all over the place. So.
Yeah.
But you're going to really have to be vigilant, I think,
Yeah.
on that. Okay, well, Creeping Charlie coming early in the year, but I've been seeing it, oh my. All right, let's go next to line 3, and Tom has a question about potash. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Diana, I love your show.
Thanks so much.
I got a question. I burn a lot of wood during the year, and I put a lot of the potash out in the garden. When is too much and when is not enough? Because my tomatoes just go ballistic. The red beets and the carrots are just ballistic. 4 and 5 pound red beets, and the carrots or the tomato plants are like an average of between 10 to 12 foot tall. But I cannot grow radishes and turnips. So is my acid soil too high, or how do I reverberate?
Okay.
I'm not very good with that one.
I was going to say, I don't really put potash on my soil. It's amazing you're doing so well with some of your crops. What do you want to say, Bob?
Yeah, I don't know. I never had any experience with that. I don't know.
Well, certainly, just have the soil tested and find out what the pH is and see what you are dealing with. What in areas that you put it on, areas that you haven't, and maybe that'll help answer.
Don't put it in some areas so you can have giant tomatoes over here and then somewhere else grow the.
I have, we have heated with wood over the years. I just never put it in the same place more than once every 5 years, but I didn't quantify it. I don't know what it needed. So I would do a soil test, and it's not our strongest question about
No,
the
but
potash.
if the plants that are doing well, yeah, you can overdo it. So
you definitely can.
don't put any more down there until at least till you have the soil tested to make sure. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know about the beets or radishes though.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. So, well, if we hear more from some of our other panelists, we'll report back next week, because our panelists are great in helping us out. So that's a partial question answer right there. Well, thank you very much for your question. Let's go to line 4, and Janet has a question about gumballs. Sweet gumballs. Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Janet.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, those things.
Is there anything wrong with using sweet gumballs to top off mulch in beds where the cats seem to think are litter boxes?
Does that stop them?
Thought of.
If it would stop them.
Yeah, I don't know if it stops them or not. It's a good idea.
I know people do it to keep slugs.
Yeah.
They'll try to keep slugs
It
away.
shouldn't hurt anything. Is
It's
that
not-
what your question is?
Yeah, to keep cats away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would there be anything wrong with sweet gum balls on the top off your mulch?
No, nothing.
The problem is I think the paws are not that sensitive. I mean, for us, we all hate walking on them and barefoot when you go out in the backyard and catch one, but I don't think cats are going to be quite as affected by them. It sounds like a great idea. You could also throw glitter out there. Everybody hates glitter when it gets all over the place.
But then the cat will bring
Yeah,
it in.
the
That's
cat
the bad thing.
Yeah,
We don't want that.
I don't know that it's going to be effective, but absolutely won't hurt. Yeah, I mean, you got to do something
Yeah,
with them.
those stupid gumballs. Yeah, they got those,
Yeah.
those balls.
Mine
They make nice Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, it might make pretty mulch too. I've never seen
It
them all
might.
condensed into one area before.
Wow.
Certainly wouldn't hurt.
It might keep
You might have
squirrels
a
away
new market.
too.
You
Yeah.
can start bagging them up.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, one year I actually made some figures from,
Oh, glued them together.
glued them onto floral foam, and then I had several people just bringing me bags of them. And, like, no, I was using them to get rid of the ones I had. I don't want any more. So anyway, do try it, and I think that'd be really
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of fun
let
to
us
do.
know. Yeah.
Certainly wouldn't
Yeah.
hurt.
Well, let's go to a garden soil question on line 2 and see if Sandy has something for us. Line 2. Hi there, Sandy.
Well, hi. Thanks for taking my call. I have kind of a serious, I think, problem, and I don't know how to solve it. Last September here in Springfield, we had a very heavy rainfall, and we had 6 inches of standing water in our backyard where my garden is. And we had a underground sewer line running in our backyard, which we did not know of, in the easement behind us, and it overflowed. So we had sewage, just little black stuff, over the whole yard, but smelled really bad for several days. And then I called the extension service to see if it was safe to eat the potatoes that I had not dug yet, and I was told not to use anything in the ground because it could be contaminated because of the sewage. And I kind of thought that, but I wanted confirmation. So now my question is, in preparing the garden for the spring, do I need to amend the soil in any way because of that sewage that still might be on top of the soil, or what should I do? Is it safe to plant underground things like potatoes and onions and leeks, that kind of thing?
And this happened, how long ago? Was it in the spring of last year?
Last fall.
Last fall.
Yeah.
I was wondering if there was enough water and leaching of it down to actually...
The UV light, too, is another thing that's going to burn it. I mean, that's really good to have. You really didn't want to dig it in too quickly. You want UV light to burn that down a little bit and be exposed and leach out in rain. I would think you'd be fine. I mean, there's probably more of a professional U of I and the mechanical engineering has just water remediation people. They're really good with things like that.
Right.
I would think by that much time, the compost, just natural composting in the soil, is going to break down the organism.
I would think so. I could definitely find out the answer to that one, because that's, I don't know if everybody saw Bill Gates was taking, and making fresh water out of it. So it's not too bad, but I would think she'd be okay by this point. Yeah. Ready to go.
Yeah, I can imagine when it's fresh, then you actually have E. coli that's all over your potatoes and the food when that originally happened. So that might have been pretty scary potentially. Yeah, but by this time it should have compost. There's all sorts of natural organisms in the soil that are breaking things down, and
so
it's probably all right.
Work it as normal.
Right. So anyway, that we're going to go with that. But if Shane finds out more, we will get back with you on that. Okay, thanks for your question. Let's take one more and then we'll go to a little bit something different. Let's go to Mark's question about amaryllis on line 5. I don't know if we have an amaryllis specialist here, but Mark, what's your question?
Good evening. Well, my wife has dozens of amaryllis bulbs that she loves, and we put them into dormancy out in the garage. And this year they froze pretty hard out there. I had some bottles of liquids that had frozen solid, and Valentine's Day is coming up, and I need to know how much trouble am I really going to be in.
Oh, think a lot.
Yeah, if you're not seeing a little flower stock already coming up, there is going to be gift purchasing in your future.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a cold period, not a freeze period. So.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's supposed to be dormant, and that equals dry, but it doesn't equal cold.
But you should be able to feel. There's a weight to the bulbs when they're healthy, and not. Maybe you have to have some, but when they're dead, they are very light.
Yeah, and probably going to be squishy too. Probably.
Right. I would think so.
So probably you can feel that, and then make those disappear.
Yeah.
Yes, if they are squishy
and you can change
light.
the squirrels ate them. The squirrels came in and ate those.
In the garage?
Yeah.
When they were frozen?
Yeah, it was.
Well, don't mention the frozen part.
But the good news is they're like a white cat. You can switch them out pretty easily and nobody notices. There's a lot of amaryllis that's still in the stores that are left over that they haven't put away in some areas. Some people have switched over to spring, but some have them left, and you can switch them out and nobody will know the difference.
Okay, we're wanting to help you out, Mark. So if they're bad, then just get a new one quick.
And I have no experience with a white cat.
I see. Okay, good. Thank you. Well, we have to get to this next question about blackberries because we have a specialist on.
Absolutely.
Let's go to Bill's question on line 6 about blackberries. Hi, Bill.
Hi.
What is your question?
My question, I harvest about 5 gallons of blackberries every year, but I have no idea how to maintain them and when to trim them and how often you need to trim them and that sort of thing.
We have the person for you.
So there's in your backyard then, huh? Where are your blackberries?
In the backyard, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, right now, are they thornless blackberries?
Excuse me?
Are they thornless blackberries?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so in the case of thornless blackberries, don't do anything. What happens with the thornless blackberries is they die back from the tip during the wintertime and the cold, and they start here, and probably in March be time to prune these things, and they'll be dead parts. if you take and prune them now, what happens? They start dying before you cut it. They'll die back in here, and you'll lose a lot of the growth. So take it, wait until probably March, maybe middle of March, to take and prune the plants, and then take and cut them back, and get rid of all the old growth. You can cut out the old growth now if you can see it, but cut it back. And basically, what we do is kind of leave a stem. Some of the thornless blackberries have big stems, and cut it back, and with six or eight little shoots coming out on each one of them, kind of like a stick with other sticks coming off of it, and it should be fine. But wait, don't prune that. If you got thorny ones, you can go out and prune the thorny ones. They're okay, but thornless ones die back from the tip, and you'll need to wait a while.
I didn't realize the difference between thorny and thornless. Yeah. That's good. So wait for your thornless blackberries, and you folks with roses, wait much longer to trim your roses. We haven't had a rose pruning question, but I just felt it was coming on. So
well, they're all related. They're all rose family.
Yes, it's related. Okay, now we have a Creeping Charlie response from Tony on line 3. Hi, Tony.
Hello, Diana. How you doing?
Doing great. Let's hear your words of wisdom.
Well, I wouldn't say they're totally words of wisdom, but I had a lot of Creeping Charlie in my backyard, and I don't know if it's correct to say this, but I use 2,4-D. I went to the gardening center, local, like a farmer's place, and I got 2,4-D, mixed it up, put it in my sprayer, and I sprayed the entire backyard. It will not kill your grass, but it'll kill every broadleaf that's out there.
Of course, the problem being that it was in a perennial bed.
Yeah, over the tops, that's generally what it is, 2,4-D with salted dicamba. That's
right.
What most of them, but in the perennial bed, you can't go over the top.
So yeah, I think, you could do it, but it's in the perennial bed. So yes, over the top, I think you're good to go. It's just much harder in the perennial bed, and you want to try to stop it before it gets there. But thank you, Tony, for that follow-up, and we've got another follow-up on the sweet gum ball question, and let's go to Cindy, line 4. Hi, Cindy.
Hi. To keep the cats out of my flower bed, I use pine cones.
Oh,
and
really?
They definitely don't like pine cones.
Well, that's interesting.
What kind of pine cones?
Any kind.
Okay.
I just, find a neighbor that's got evergreens and go down and pick pine cones up out of the yard, and you have to put them in kind of thick because they don't like the feel of them, and so if they're spaced pretty close together, they can't find a spot to scratch.
Yeah.
And so they quit doing their business in my flower bed.
Good.
And anyone who would pick up pine cones from a neighbor, that's doing a service for not wanting to run over them when you mow. Yeah. So that's kind of a getting two things done.
Probably be pretty too.
Yeah, it would be pretty.
Some of them are more prickly than others, though. That's why I asked what kind.
Right. And most of them are had a lot of resin. I would think that would be a...
Stick to cats.
Then the cats stick to whatever they come in.
I would definitely not use the bathroom in that area if it was me, so it must work.
Oh my goodness. But that's a good tip too. So we have 2 good tips. I like it when the viewers follow up on our questions from before. That's really fun. I want to get this in. It's just a little bit of a reminder that there's still space on this great Germany trip. It's the 9-day trip that I'll be taking with the Mid-American Gardeners this July. And we visit both private and public gardens, both big and small, across Germany. So if you want more information, then you'll want to call WILL's Donda Beard at 333-7300 or visit will.illinois.edu/willtravel. And I thought we had a picture. I haven't seen one. I was hoping for a picture, but it was before. It was when I was reading. All right. So anyway, join us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Now let's go to the MAG quiz next and see what we can learn. Which of the following plants should not be transplanted? A, rhubarb, B, runner beans, C, strawberries. B, runner beans. For the best results, plant runner beans directly in the soil. Now let's follow up on that question. What other things, especially vegetables, would you plant directly in the soil? Because I've had that question just today. You don't want to transplant them, in other words. I'm going to start in with cucumbers. Cucumbers you want to plant directly in the soil. What other things would you think?
Well, it says right here, there's a question. What time do you plant the strawberries? So the strawberries, put them right in the ground in the middle of March. The grower, the people you buy strawberries, they'll be coming in. So take and plant them. It's right out there. And if there's a frost, it's okay. It just kills the flowers. The plants keep on growing.
Right in the soil. Ground. Yeah. So a lot of times you don't necessarily need transplants. You get them bare root or you get them seed and put them right in the soil. So there's quite a few things you want to do that. Some of your lettuces, radishes, don't plant them up. Go right in the soil. So we have so much fun talking about plants, and we're glad that you joined us. We'll see you next time, and we'll talk more gardening. See you then. Goodbye.